Hello everyone, welcome to our detailed exploration of external commercial borrowings or ECBs. Today we will specifically be focusing on the distinct routes through which these funds can be accessed. My name is Dr. Ragvi and I welcome you again. ECBs are instrumental in helping Indian corporations tap into international financial markets for their capital needs. Today, we will dive into automatic and approval routes, discussing each part's eligibility criteria, process, and specific conditions. ECBs in India can be accessed via two primary routes, the automatic route and approval route. Each route offers a different level of regulatory oversight and flexibility, tailored to meet diverse financing needs. The automatic route streamlines processes for certain types of borrowings, while the approval route is used for cases requiring closer scrutiny or exceeding certain set limits. Let us start with the automatic route. The automatic route allows eligible borrowers to access ECBs without prior approval from Reserve Bank of India. This route is designed to facilitate straightforward ECB applications that meet predetermined and predefined guidelines and ensure a faster and more efficient borrowing process. Let us now look at the eligibility criteria for the automatic route. Under the automatic route, eligible borrowers include all entities that can receive foreign direct investment. This encompasses non-banking financial institutions or NBFCs, microfinance institutions, infrastructure firms, and certain service sectors like IT and tourism. The eligible lenders include the international financial institutions, foreign banks, export credit agencies, and other foreign recognized entities. Let us now look at the eligible end uses. We'll see two different things, where the funds can be used and where the funds cannot be used. The permitted uses under this route include capital expenditure on plant and machinery, infrastructure development and refinancing, and existing ECBs refinancing. Now, capital expenditure is including investment in plant and machinery. Infrastructure development includes development of infrastructure in a country, namely roads, power plants, or airports, etc. And refinancing of existing ECBs and general corporate purposes is allowed only under certain specified limits. The prohibited uses include: 1. On lending or investment in stock market is prohibited. Real estate acquisitions of land or any other type of real estate is prohibited, and any other type of speculative activity or capital market activity is prohibited. So the funds raised through the automatic route cannot be channelized into these three different types of areas. The borrowing limits and maturity in case of automatic route of ECB are: eligible borrowers under automatic route can access up to 750 million US dollars annually, with specific limits varying by sector and project. The minimum average maturity required is of 3 years for borrowings up to 50 million US dollars and 5 years for larger amounts or for specific purpose. Let us now look at the process under the automatic route. No prior approval is needed from RBI as long as the guidelines are met. Borrowers must file the necessary ECB form through their authorized dealer bank after finalizing the loan agreement, ensuring compliances with the legal and regulatory framework. Now let us see the approval route and see the discussion regarding them. The approval route, for this, the borrowings are not under the automatic route, or they don't follow the guidelines, or they don't fit at the guidelines of the automatic route. and they involve a slightly higher risk. The approval route is necessary because here what you have to do is that you have to take a prior approval from Reserve Bank of India. This route is intended for larger and more complex projects that require individual assessment and approval from RBI. Approval route has certain conditions to determine who is a eligible borrower and who can be a eligible lender. Let us look at them. Eligibility under the approval route extends to companies that exceed automatic routes limits or are involved in activities in sectors with restrictive policies. The permitted uses include are often of major infrastructure projects or acquisition that have significant economic impact. The eligible lenders are the same, that is foreign banks, international financial institutions, and recognized foreign lenders. Moving to the special end uses. Permitted uses includes large and more complex infrastructure projects such as big major infrastructure investments undertaken by a company or to undertake a merger or acquisition, and further funding of projects with longer gestation periods such as certain public sector or government related projects. The restricted uses are same as in case of the automatic route, that is the funds which are used or generated by using a ECB cannot be used in real estate, stock market, or to undertake any type of speculative activities. Now let us look at the borrowing limits and the maturity limits. Under the approval route, higher borrowing amounts and longer maturity terms can be negotiated based on the project's nature and sector specific condition, providing flexibility for sustainable long-term investments. As a result, what happens is that these type of ECB or this route of ECB attracts more longer projects because the funds which are raised would be invested for a very long period. Now let us look at the approval route process. Borrowers have to submit a detailed application to Reserve Bank of India outlining the loan terms and intended uses. RBI would then review these particular applications, assess those applications to ensure that whether they are complying with the economic policies and risk management standards of Reserve Bank of India or not. After that, certain documentations have to be maintained. These documentations include loan agreement and detailed project reports must also be submitted for approval. Now, why these are required? These are required in order to assess the risk which is involved in a particular ECB which is to be raised. The post-approval reporting and compliance includes two different things. There is a reporting requirement and there is a compliance monitoring which has to be undertaken. Under both routes, the same thing has to be undertaken, that is for automatic route and for approval route. This is the post approval reporting and compliance. Both routes require that the borrowers have to submit regular reports to RBI which has a detail of the fund uses, interest payment and loan status. Now how or where this report or in which format this report has to be submitted, the form that is used is form ECB2 of the Reserve Bank of India, and you have to submit three different things: where you are using the funds, interest payments that are being undertaken, and the status of the loan. Compliance with approved uses of funds is strictly monitored by Reserve Bank of India, and if there is any deviation, then it has to be informed and reported to Reserve Bank of India. So borrowers have to adhere to the approved end uses of the fund and report any deviations to Reserve Bank of India. RBI monitors the adherence of maturity schedules, interest rate payments, and overall utilization of the funds in order to ensure that the compliances are followed and the reputation of the company as well as of the country is maintained. Now, in conclusion, understanding the routes for accessing ECBs is crucial for Indian companies seeking international financing, whether through the streamlined automatic route or more scrutinized approval route. ECB offers a vital resource for growth and development. By adhering to the guidelines and maintaining robust reporting and compliances practices, companies are able to effectively leverage their financial tools to meet their strategic objectives. Thank you, everyone, for joining in this session on external commercial borrowings, and we will meet again.